Aye. Wow. I wish we'd come together for at better times, but it's been really sad hearing about somebody who was really inspirational to us in the '90s passing away like this. What are your goodness? Anyone who can made it through? I mean, with this, we just had a couple of hours just to try and put this together, and this is going to be sort of a tribute episode to D'Angelo. Talking about his music, his input, his legacy, and what made him different and unique. So yes, as you guys comment, we'll be reading them, and we'll also get a chance to get you guys if you want to come on and have any live say stuff, a few things. I'll put the link for you guys. But VJ, I can probably start with you. The sad news about D'Angelo.
This this has come from left field. I didn't even know he was sick. They're saying that he had a short battle with cancer. I guess we'll find out more details in the coming days, but this is probably the biggest loss in this area of music since Whitney Houston. This is massive. D'Angelo is, I can't believe this, man. It's just, I feel so sad. It's just,
yeah. I mean, he's what, 52. So I mean, still very 51 or 52. I mean,
51.
51. Wow. And we think about his son with Angie Stone losing both parents within the last 8 months. Yeah, Stevie, what do you remember of D'Angelo? And guys, as you come in, we just welcome you.
A lot, mate. I mean, there's a lot, but what I will say is that obviously I only heard it like at past 5, 6 o'clock this evening, and like all of us, you just get that. You got that gut wrenching feeling. It's like you just can't explain it. And I'm in a way, I'm happy that we've got an outlet here, and everyone who's joined tonight, there's a lot of you joining in tonight, that we can just express how we feel. So I'm blessed to be able to do that. We can all just come together for an hour and just at least express what we're feeling. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, what I remember. I do remember this Blues and Soul magazine, pre the single release of Brown Sugar. There was a little section about upcoming artists or what to look out for. And I remember one of the magazine reviewers saying, there's this record just about to come out. It's by a guy called D'Angelo, called Brown Sugar. And it's going against everything that's happening in mid-90s R&B at the moment. Because obviously mid-90s R&B, we was in the midst of hip-hop soul, Bad Boy, etc. So I just remember reading that piece, and it just stuck with me. And when I went into the record shop, and there it was, the Import 12. It wasn't even on the cover. It was Brown Sugar, the single. It was. I don't need to tell you what Brown Sugar is. I think we all know what he was talking about. That special thing that, and I heard it, and it was completely different to everything that was coming out in 1995, and you were hearing something special. Brown Sugar, the album was exceptional, and we've lost a generational talent. I mean, you could hear his influences, going back to obviously Smokey Robinson, Curtis Mayfield, Leroy Hudson, that golden period of 70s soul music. He had a jazz element. You could argue he started. I mean, this will be up for debate tonight whether he started neo soul or not. But talk about, we just lost, like VJ just said, we've just lost a generational talent. He influenced the generation. There's still Gen Zers now that are just finding out about him, that are making music like him. So yeah, I mean, this is a big loss to the music world.
Yeah. Last Exit to Brooklyn sent me this really. It's a fair point. I think he's written something here as well, but he said he was our Curtis, our Prince, our Marvin, our Rick, our Donny. Man, it's just it's hard to read this, man. Sorry.
Yes, it's tough, man. It's tough. It's like I say, you get that news. It's just your guts are ripped out. It's like shocking, terrible. Awful news.
Yeah, I think we last saw him during the verses, and people were wondering, and he didn't go perform against anyone. He just did his thing, and people were wondering, when is he coming back out? What's he doing? But no one knew what he was experiencing, what he was going through. And I think older people would talk, and I have to apologize when I talk about this, but people would talk about, oh yeah, Jimi Hendrix, it was just amazing during his day. Or people would say, oh man, if you'd seen Curtis and Sam Cooke, Marvin Gaye, if you were around when that music was going through. And in the 90s, when we had the early New Jack, then we had the hip hop soul, and then we had the R&B, and he just came out with something just completely different that was just like funk and soul and music. And he found some Questlove and the Roots. He found some connections with Raphael Sadiq, and they just said, we're going to do this stuff. And people like Rashad Patterson and Bilal and others came into that genre. Erica Badu, there was a Jill Scott. There was a home for kind of authentic soul music that wasn't looking to be popular, but just really just to celebrate the music. And that was something that I don't know if I really appreciated it. I mean, I remember it, and I knew it, and I was like, oh, this is great. But you just assume that, yeah, we're just going to get more of this, you know. And remember, he's the guy, along with Brian McKnight, they did Black Men United. So it wasn't just, it was about uplifting the community as well when they did the You Would Know video song for Jason's lyric. So truly, truly, truly just, heartbreaking about that.
There was a group on Uptown Records called Key West, Albie Shaw group with Tabitha Brace and Terry Robinson, and a chap called Dominic Trenier. So after Key West's album was recorded, I think around 1990, Dominic Trenier had already, he was done with the project. He'd moved on. Mentally, he'd moved on. So he wanted to do his own thing in music management and other things. And I believe it was Dominic Trenier who discovered DAngelo.
Wow.
So that was a mad one, because Stevie will know what the Key West project means to me. It was one of those Uptown albums that we were like, why didn't it come out? Mm-hmm. We wanted to know who the different players were on that album. We knew Carl West, we knew Terry Robinson, and we knew Tabitha Brace. We didn't know very much about Dominic Trenier, but Dominic Trenier passed away a few years back as well. And he discovered DAngelo.
Wow.
And DAngelo was on Kedar Massenberg's label with Erica Badu. So to think that DAngelo and Erica Badu both signed to Kedar's label was incredible. It was when did the Black Men United come out, guys?
95, wasn't it? Was it 95?
Was it before or after Brown Sugar came out?
I can't remember. Was on the Jason's lyrics.
No, it was after. It was after Brown Sugar, because it was before. Yeah, it was before.
And he did that with.
It was before
Brian McKnight. He wrote that with Brian McKnight.
Yeah. And he didn't even take a lead part in it. He was playing the music.
I don't even think he's singing on it. He's not on it, I don't think.
I mean, maybe in the background, but he wasn't. He didn't take a verse and just shows. I know he became. So there are two things that really unsettled DAngelo in the music industry.
Yeah,
he was about the music. When he did the Untitled, he did the video where he was, he wasn't wearing anything. He became this sex symbol, and it affected his relationship, his marriage to Angie Stone. It was like, why is this guy with this woman? And it is something, when I did interview Angie Stone, that she said that it was the challenge of she felt the people were trying to tear them apart, the label. She actually blamed the record label. Look, man, marrying her is not good for your image, and having a child, and it was pushed upon. That separated them because it was just too much. Because she felt she was the scorn of many women, and the pressure of the label, and so that is something that I don't know how it affected him long term. Because he was comfortable in that relationship and stuff.
I think just
but that's the industry.
Society makes us pigeonholes us into thinking that this is acceptable, this is not acceptable. Is this person good looking enough for somebody that looks the way DAngelo did? It's really sad, because if DAngelo felt that if he was in love with Angie Stone, who cares about anything else? Like, it's just sad when record labels feel that they can tell somebody that they have to do this or behave like this or do that, or like some people that we know, or you're too fat, you're never going to be popular enough to sing, to have a record deal. It's just pathetic, and people should just be allowed to be people. I think what's his name, Brandon, and Last Exit to Brooklyn said it was 94. I think it was 94. The reason why I'd asked before, Black Men United, when it came out, I hadn't heard of DAngelo. That was the first time I'd heard of DAngelo, and I'd heard of
It was okay.
And I'd heard of Brian McKnight. He had the album in '92 that we all know, and then you had all these artists, and that was the introduction. And then Brown Sugar came out sometime after that, and that blew us all away. Brown Sugar song that was, when that hit the radio airwaves, it was just like, what is this song? That was it. It was like, nothing is topping this.
No.
Like we're all like Teddy Riley, Jodeci, Blackstreet fans, Guy, all of that, Devante, all of that, right? None of those boys could touch what DAngelo was doing, not even in the same stratosphere. You cannot compare it, because Brown Sugar was a very, very special, that album, the whole album, a very, very special time.
Yeah. I'm going to give you guys the opportunity, if anyone who wants to come on and say a few words about any memories about DAngelo. Maybe
that's great.
Maybe you saw DAngelo live at a show and you wanted to reminisce on that. Maybe you remember when you bought his first album, or you want to reflect on it. So this is the link. So if you and we'll just do, and we'll do one at a time. So if you can come on, you can just click onto that, and then we'll invite you. And if somebody else is already on, we'll wait till they finish. But as I said, we want to give everyone an opportunity who has anything really to say about DAngelo. I never got to see him live in concert, but as I said, they ushered in an amazing era of music. Okay, Colin has.
Hi guys.
Hey Colin, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm absolutely devastated. Honestly, I'm devastated. I won't lie to you. I did message VJ on Instagram to saying that you have to do this today,
yes, man.
because it's important to celebrate this man.
Of course.
It's a big impact to my life musically. I was in a live band. We used to always do Brown Sugar. So, I'm just, me and my brother, rest in peace, who died of cancer 7 years ago. When we was younger, all we listened to was Brown Sugar all the time. So, and I'm devastated. I won't lie to you.
Wow.
It's just.
When was the first time you heard about DAngelo?
You will know, obviously, that song, Black Men United, then obviously the Brown Sugar, obviously that album. Then I was just hooked. We used to have it always to go to my dad's on a Sunday in Coventry, go and visit my brothers and sisters, and that was the album on a Sunday, on tape, just rotating, going around the whole album, and I was just hooked. It's just, I just can't believe it, man, honestly.
Special. It was a special album, that, wasn't it?
Oh, amazing album. One of the great. One of the greatest albums out there. It doesn't matter. I'm not even talking about in the R&B genre. I'm just talking period. pop,
Yeah,
and if it is
I
just a
agree with
good album.
Yeah.
I'm not separating it with R&B, and if it's just a whole good album
Yeah,
with any genre.
Did you ever see
that album you could compare to any of the great albums of all times with any artist in any genre.
Yes.
That's it. That's where D'Angelo Brown Sugar was, that album. 100%.
Oh God, I don't know what's going on. And you
Did
know
you
what? I
ever
was
see
thinking as
him
well.
live?
Sorry, because he wasn't at Angie Stone's funeral, and it makes sense now because maybe he was ill around that time. I know he didn't attend her funeral, so maybe he was sick around. Maybe he was really ill to go. So I don't know, because obviously it was a private thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had
I mean, you
we had a
feel for
son
this song.
together. You know, you got to think of it.
Yeah.
Son's lost. Look who he's. The son has just lost Angie Stone and D'Angelo in the same year. I mean, you put your heart to his son. You know what I mean? How he's going to deal with that?
It's about 6 months in between or something like that. People saying.
Yeah, some very short period, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's not too long. Yeah, I mean, Angie died. She died in March, on the 1st of March this year.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
March, April.
Yeah, it's just shocking.
August, September. Yeah, just so he knew about his dad's health, but I'm sure he didn't expect. His mum was that hers was tragic and stuff. But I guess it's the he didn't do too much music, and that's the he had all that music kept in with him.
3 studio albums. Am I correct? Black Messiah was the last one, 2014.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was it with
the
Angelo and the Vanguard.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. It's just
we didn't get much from him, but it's as I said, I don't know if he was truly appreciated as much at the time. We knew it was different. We knew he was very musical, but because he wasn't media savvy, it was like, and that was the difference, because he felt like one of these, and I can just imagine a Hendrix and stuff who just wanted to be in a studio making their music. He actually recorded. They talk about recording at Jimi Hendrix Electric Lady Studios with the Roots and trying to craft music out there. And if you ever listen to Quest, he talks about making that album as though they were making Thriller. You know how Quincy Jones talked about Thriller, that the way they talk about the detail they put into making his debut album. And it, without much fanfare, when I first heard it, I thought, okay, what is this? This is cool, slow, a little jazzy. I didn't think it'll catch on because it was dominated by, Bad Boy and all that stuff. But it cut through. It stayed through, cut through. It was authentic. And of course, as Mr. Vigneault and a lot of others are saying, seeing him live was a massive
I didn't get
difference.
that chance, unfortunately. I wish I did now. You just expect these people to just be here for years and years and years. You know what? Tomorrow's not promised. I think we just forget that sometimes.
I'll tell you what reminds me of as well. You probably all remember Lyndon David Hall at the time.
Yes, rest in peace. Yeah,
he was like he died of cancer.
Correct.
He was signed as like a UK version of D'Angelo by, is it Trevor Nelson? Trevor Nelson.
That's right.
And was he on Cool Temper?
Yeah,
was he on Cool Temper?
I remember going to there was some like secret album launch party that I went to, and he just did he played on his guitar, and then late he was gone, just died of cancer. But he brings all the memories back, really. When D'Angelo was out, and great times back then. We've got to remember those times, guys, because we was all there. All 4 of us were there, living through that great period.
We had an incredible time. I did see him live. I saw him at the Brixton Academy. I think it was 2012, 2013, something like that. And the thing that the show was just phenomenal. Like D'Angelo with his voice and a piano, that boy didn't need anything else. He was wow. But the most interesting thing about that show for me, because I'm a big Prince fan and the Time fan, his bass player at that show was Jesse Johnson.
Wow.
And I was like, what? And I just get so excited about those little details. And to see Jesse Johnson, that bass player, on the stage with DAngelo was just
What was his stage
funny.
presence like, DAngelo, at the time?
He was.
Did he have it? Did he have it?
was,
Yeah.
He had it. I mean, I don't know.
All the
I never
cigar,
saw him.
cigarette.
Yeah, I never saw him in the 90s, so I can't compare with anything like that. But I'm sure he had even more presence then. But he did have it, and the crowd stood from the whole time till the end. There was nobody that sat down. It was just everybody was up from their seats once they got up. And you know how, like most concerts, you have people get up for like one or two songs. This wasn't that show. Not at all. Everybody was up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, this is saying about, they really pushed. I mean, well, not he was in Sony. I think it was in Colombia, but they pushed. I mean, the music has to sound good, but then the promotion, it's the same thing like with Outkast. When you give somebody something that's different and unique. But if it has to be qualities there, because it doesn't. If you can send it to the masses, but if we don't like it, and that's something about him that we truly have to appreciate. He did an album live at the Jazz Cafe in London. Did you guys get? Did you get?
yeah, I have
get
heard
that
that.
out?
There it is.
Very
I
good.
put it out especially for tonight.
Shall I tell you something mental about that album? Last night, I was somebody must have posted something about the Jodeci show, the reissue of the show, The After Party at the Hotel. So I went onto the website that sells that, and I put that in the basket. And what was more interesting than that was that album that you have in your hand, Stevie, has been pressed on double vinyl. Wow. And I put it in my basket. And I didn't buy it last night, and it sold out.
Wow.
So I was going to buy it last night. I was just...
Mate, I seen a copy of the Voodoo album in Vinyl Exchange a few weeks ago. It was about 250 quid.
Was that a double album, Voodoo?
Yeah, it's the original US pressing. The sound, I mean, it's going to double now. It's going to double in price. It's going to go for 5 months. I don't know. It was just on the wall for about 250 quid. And my jaw dropped. I thought, I didn't realise it was worth that much. But like I say, a lot of them 90s pressings, they're disappearing now, aren't they? They've gone.
Yeah.
Anyway, Colin, are you at the new Jack Night in a few weeks? I can't remember where you said you could make it. Or
I'm going to be in America. I'm going to go and see Mickey Mouse again.
Maybe one day.
Back to the US again.
Maybe one day.
Have fun with Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, so I'm going to miss it once again.
Yeah, that's always. I'm sure there'll be more. But guys, if you want to jump in just as Colin did to pay a tribute, tell us about a show, a DAngelo show that you went to. It'll be definitely good to hear those stories, and tell us about your memories of DAngelo, because I think, I think the last time I remember I was doing this was when Dwayne Wiggins from Tony passed.
Yeah, that's right.
And I would almost, Raphael was a kindred spirit to DAngelo, but there's something about the musicianship that helped them endure. They felt like pure musicians who wrote, but who just wanted to stay in the music. It wasn't about, it wasn't about the industry, but it felt like it was about the music. And he doesn't, when you look at him, he didn't look like a 90s R&B star, because, by his dress and everything. I know towards the latter part, he did put on weight, but who knows what he was going through. The pressures of being a sex symbol when you didn't want that, the pressures of having to live up to that hype, and the industry will get you. The industry will get you. Last Listen Brooklyn says the original pressing of Voodoo goes for over £500.
Yeah, I can believe that now.
Wow, that's amazing.
I haven't opened my copy yet. I have that. I haven't opened.
I know you're not opening
have
it
a
now.
seal. I'm never opening it.
You
Yeah,
don't need to. If
yeah.
you got the CD, just keep it in your
It'd
rack.
be worth a lot now.
Yeah.
I might get the reissue. I might buy the reissue for that. But I ordered there's a issue of Brown Sugar. It's called brown. It's something sugar and burnt sugar. It's like different color records, two different color records, and one of the records looks like burnt sugar. So I got that one. I ordered that one with the Jodeci. Yeah, I ordered that.
Yeah, in the so in the UK, was there any equivalent to D'Angelo's type of to his
Like
vibe?
say, Lyndon David Hall was the closest.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Okay,
Yeah, I can't think of
okay.
That's
anybody.
probably one of the closest we got to it. Really.
Yeah, Lyndon was the one, and you mentioned like cancer is a terrible thing. I saw Lyndon in Holland Park. I think it was 2 or 3 months before he passed. And Stevie, you will know this very well. You'll know this about me, definitely. Like I am a big fan of the Untouchables, Eddie F, and all of that. So when I saw Lyndon, I said, "Did you do two remixes with Eddie F?" And he laughed. He said, "I don't remember two. I did one." And he was just really nice. And he seemed. I didn't realize he was unwell, but he looked a little bit weak. And when he passed, that was a shocker as well, because he was very, very young. He was in his 30s,
so
right?
Talented.
Early 30s or something.
Did Misha
What about
Parrish do
Umar?
something with D'Angelo? Because I know she's posted tonight. Misha. From
She posted something. I'm sure she did.
She
Yeah,
did something with him.
there's a possibility.
She may have.
Something live.
There's
She might have done. I remember she got invited to a Prince. She did something at a Prince thing. Unless he might have been there, I don't know. You know.
Yeah, Erykah Badu did a fantastic song, and this was they're both on Kedar, and they did that incredible song on High School High Call. They did a cover of the Marvin Gaye, Tammy Terrell track, Your Precious Love. And Marvin Gaye is maybe a notch below Michael Jackson and Prince in my head. Like Marvin Gaye is well up there. But D'Angelo and Erykah Badu's version of Your Precious Love smashes the hell out of Marvin Gaye's version. It's just stunning. It is just absolutely bananas. And if you haven't heard that version, oh my God.
He did.
Well, I was going to say Roberta. Oh, sorry.
That's all right, mate. Go on, Colin. Go on, mate.
No, I was going to say my favorite tune would be Lady and his Roberta Flack's version of Feel Like Making Love.
Great track.
Oh, God.
Great tracks.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shocking.
And I was very immature back then. Like, 95, I was young. And he did that song called Shit Damn Motherfucker. I thought it was just so funny that somebody put all those words in a song. I thought, oh my God, how could you? And then I understood what the song was, and I understood what the lyrics were, and I thought, what? This is insane. This man is a G.
You got to look at some of the credits on the album. I mean, they've got, on his first album, you got Raphael Sadiq in there. You got Ali Shaheed Muhammad from A Tribe Called Quest. I mean, just like I say,
work with people like Jay Dilla, all them guys there, man. Oh God.
I mean, you talk about Teddy Riley with a new sound with Guy. I mean, they created a new, he ushered in a new sound, or obviously heavily borrowed from the 70s.
But this is what we were calling. Yeah, they were calling. Yeah, Kedar labeled it neo soul, and it gave a lane to people. Even Chico but the Barge got reimagined as neo soulish, in a way. And
look at all the artists that were sold off, like India Irie, sold off the back of say a D'Angelo, really, that came out after.
We talk about Bial, Rashid Patterson, Jill Scott had a lane when she went. It was okay to come out with that sort of that kind of soul and vibe and things. I do wonder.
Did you get the Get Off the Bus soundtrack, VJ, with "Girl You Need a Change of Mind"? The Eddie Kendricks track.
I do have it.
Yeah, it's got a Blackstreet track on it, but have a listen to that cover.
Coming Home is on there.
That D'Angelo cover is very good. Very good.
Wow.
And Ade says she's going to Raphael Sadiq. Ade, please do tell us what Raphael says about D'Angelo tonight.
I wonder if he'll cancel that.
He'll be gutted.
Oh my
gonna
God,
be-
he would be
that's
devastated, most
very-
definitely.
Yeah.
That's going to be
Yeah.
very
Oh,
sad.
The thing is that I think, but they would have known because even Questlove, they didn't post anything. I saw a post from Jill Scott saying that she was just saying, I love DAngelo, I love, so.
and she said that they've never met. I thought they said they've never met before, apparently, she said as well. I was quite surprised.
I find that hard to imagine, though.
Yeah, that's what she said on their post, that they've never met. I don't know if she just, I don't know. That's what she said. I found that strange.
Yeah, because if she's with Quest and they're all feeling, maybe
Yeah.
it'd be hard to imagine and stuff. But no, it's as I said, he created definitely a lane, and maybe because we didn't see or hear from him that often, is why he became a mystery. You know, unlike most of the people, like most artists that you'd see interviews everywhere, you can get a few performances, but he just felt like he was into his music. Yes. So yes, definitely. And if anyone has anything to share, yeah, please join in and tell us about a concert, a DAngelo concert, what it's like to listen to him live. Did he, was he mainly on his piano or did he play the guitar?
Yeah, there was a group he was in, or there was talks about a group, and can you imagine if we ever got to see this group? I think it was DAngelo, Q-Tip, and Raphael Sadiq.
Wow.
What is that? Like, that is just
They will have tracks recorded together. You know they've got them somewhere.
Yeah, they must have jammed together many a times.
But think about that as a combo: DAngelo,
And Chris Love on drums as well.
and Quest. Yeah, he would have been around.
Oh,
I mean, they all did stuff with the Roots, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Did loads of stuff with the Roots.
Yeah, yeah. As I said, River Mandela saying regret never seen him live. I think that's I think for those of us who were fortunate to be, of age during the 90s where you could buy your own music or go to shows, I think you felt like, I'll see him tomorrow. There's so much to be able to see. But it's, I've seen Mint Condition live, and so it wasn't that I wouldn't have appreciated that. It's just that I don't think I don't think I was just, there was so much happening, and he cut through the whole bad boy stuff, the whole hip hop stuff.
Let's talk about the reaction to this album when this dropped, because I remember there was a big divide over this album. A lot of what I call the soul connoisseurs in the UK, they weren't having it. They were not having this because it was too funky for them. But, this album now, it's a classic. I mean, it kind of, you need a few listens to get into it, but
yeah, it was a bit of advance.
Yeah,
for everybody. I would say that was like Khaleesi's second album.
This album at the time,
Stevie, do you know about Voodoo? Maybe Colin knows. I don't know. There's the original version, the promo version of Voodoo had like a different track layout. It had a different song on it, or different version or versions of certain tracks. Do you know about that?
Vaguely remember that.
I don't know.
Something. There was something about that.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of controversy over one of the tracks, weren't there?
Yeah. One of my most prized 12 inches, because it's a perfect song, is Devil's Pie.
Tune.
DAngelo and DJ Premier, what they created for that song is perfection. That is 100 out of 100 song. There is not one syllable that you can't add anything to that to make that any better. Like all these other, we do these lists for things. There's some songs which are like, and they're big songs. They're like at 96, 97. Some songs might reach 98 in my head. Devil's Pie is 100 out of 100. There is nothing. There's nothing you can improve on that.
Here's a thing, VJ. If you before it goes on disc, because I've seen tonight there's quite a few on disc left. A good price. If you didn't get it, it's called the Voodoo DJ Essentials, and it's got 3 tracks on one side, and it's got the 3 instrumentals on the other. Feel Like Making Love, chicken grease, I'd get that. It's a promo only.
I
I remember buying it at the time when it come out as a you know, a £10 promo, but they're gonna go fast. I'd grab myself one then
think
quickly.
I might have that. I might have that.
Yeah, I thought you might somewhere.
I might have it.
But that do grab that if you see it. But the instrumental of Chicken Grease, my gosh, talk about a funk track.
How did you guys feel when you heard Left and Right for the first time?
Is that Redman and Method
Yeah.
Man?
What
Yeah.
was that? That was insane because like you
Oh,
had
it's funky.
that was just yeah, man. Oh, my-
Dude.
I'm just checking that Namdi's still alive there. He's there.
No, no, as I said, it's I'm just, hearing you guys reminiscing about the music and stuff. I mean, I was massive fan of when he did the Jason's lyrics thing, but to appreciate the fact that he didn't take center stage like most people would do when they come up with a track like that. They start it off or finish it or have a place in there, but he just remained like
but he wasn't known then, was he? To be fair, it was unknown.
But I could see him though. That's the thing. I need to. Where did that come out? Because who's this? Who's Hanks? Yeah. I'm trying to see because oops.
Because it's definitely before the first album.
Let me see. Black Men United.
You froze on us in a bit there, Namdi. We can hear you, but your picture's froze. You look like you're enjoying a nice sleep there. Oh, it's back now.
You look like you're thinking hard.
I'm not sure what happened. Because I see the fact that You Would Know came out in '94, but he must have done a video. He must have done something. He must have appeared before. Because there's no how he looks like he already saw him. It looked as if you already knew who he was because I can see him in the video, but I already knew who he was. So he must have come out.
Yeah, he would have, any. But obviously, he's doing a big production with all these big celebrities, big singers. So you would have thought so.
Yeah, he must have done something because he wrote it.
He was on Vertical Holds album with Angie Stone. He did some stuff on there with her. I think Pray. I think he did Pray on there or something. What else did he do?
But Chester says, I also love DAngelo's cover of Water Get No Enemy featuring Fela Kuti and Son Femi Kuti. Hey,
Fela Kuti's son, yeah.
It's a great record, that Water Got No Enemy. Great Afrobeat track. One of the classics actually of that genre. Great that you're all here tonight with us. Great, so many people probably feeling the way we're all feeling tonight. It's just stunned, shocked, gutted, just
Give someone else a chance.
Yeah.
Is anybody waiting, Namdi?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, no one's. Yeah, anyone. Colin. What happens is people aren't as brave. So the link is in here. If you click on it, you get to be able to come on and share your thoughts. But no one is rating right now. As I mentioned, when I did interview Angie Stone, she was upset about how the labels and the industry separated the marriage with DAngelo. It wasn't. They pressured him because they felt that him being married to her would affect his album sales and his status, and so it really caused a rift between them, and he didn't want to leave. But I guess it's only those of you who have signed a record deal we can tell how you really have no power. If your label is insistent on that, they can decide to break everything if you don't comply. And I personally would put up my hand to say at the time I was shocked to see that they were together because she was older than him, and I didn't see the match. And so if I'm feeling that and I was a casual fan, imagine what hardcore fans were like. And, you know, think about what's happened when he did Untitled.
Yeah.
You know, that was it took, and so it's like, how's this guy with this lady? And I think he couldn't have done Untitled while still married to Angie. It's almost as if that was like, you've broken up now, good. Now we can show you how we can make you a superstar.
Mate, he was a bit of a lady's favourite as well, weren't he? He must have had a lot of temptation as well.
Yeah.
Especially after that video.
Throwing themselves at him. Who we got here?
Okay, I've got D-Hawk.
D-Hawk.
Oh, I'll come off now if you want, yeah?
That's fine. Hawk, are you?
Wow.
We can see you.
Wow, I didn't realize I was on camera.
You're on the camera now.
You can't go now.
I gotta cut this down and Jesus.
What do you want to say
What's
about
happening, fellas? How y'all doing?
DAngelo?
Stumble.
Hi.
Yeah. Did you ever see him live?
I did. I did. It was the Voodoo tour. It was the Voodoo tour, and it was my very first concert. It was in Athens. No, it was actually in Atlanta. It was actually here in Atlanta, and Mos Def opened for him. And that was during Miss Fat Booty era. So that was an exciting time. That was a great night. He put on an outstanding show. He's very energetic, but you can tell. To me, you can tell it was just all about the music. He was all about how people reacted to how he was performing, what he was performing. Oh Lord, I got something popping up on my screen now. Okay, here we go.
No,
it's all about the performance and the music. And of course, the ladies were screaming for him to take his shirt off. He came out there with the black leather pants on and the tank top and whatever. It's like, come on, brother, you know what's happening. You know what's about to go down, right? He seemed a little aggravated a little bit. So when he got down to shit down motherfucker, yeah, he made that song come to life. He started kicking the speaker, kicked the mic stand over. He flexing at the crowd now.
Wow.
It's like, you realize it's a song, right? You're not coming up the stage and then, right? So it's like, but calm down. Eventually got to How Does It Feel? And of course, by this time he half naked. So the ladies got what they wanted. And he gets behind the piano, and lights dim, gets real cinematic, and he kind of gives an acoustic version. At least he did in this show. He gave like an acoustic version of How Does It Feel? Just him and the piano, really. Very sparse drum. And everybody was just kind of like in awe. Just like, wow, this dude is really dope. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's on the CD or live, you're going to get the full effect of what he got going on. And then, it was cool to see people in the audience or whatever the case when I'm leaving. And my man is like, there go Chili right there. And I'm looking and whatever. She's like right here in front of me because she's like really low to the ground. She's like 4'10" or something like that. I'm 6'1". So it's just like, oh, yeah, okay. She's got a lot of hair. Yeah. All right. But anyway, it was a dope experience. If anybody, I would love to hear anybody else's experience, especially outside of the United States, because I know that y'all, it seems like y'all have a different appreciation for music. You know what I'm saying? Like real music, no bullshit. Like
the one thing,
music. You know what I'm saying?
One thing I'll say about
incredible to watch.
I went to see him once. I saw him. It was much later. I saw him 2013, 2012, something like that, at Brixton Academy. And you know how you go to most concerts.
Hold on a minute. Have you got your TV on? Have you got your TV on?
No, you're coming through my speakers.
Background.
It's got an echo.
Yeah, the echo.
All right, hold on. All right, yeah. See, that's why I was looking so crazy. Make sure that's not happening.
I think it's gone now. Go on, VJ.
All right.
Yeah.
y'all
So
good?
you know how you go to concerts, you get to a concert and you get there a little bit before, not too much before, like just you get there when you need to get there. Like you might get there an hour early. For DAngelo, me and my wife, we were there like 3 hours before in the queue.
What?
And there was, I don't know why we had like
Wow.
it was standing as well, right? It was standing. That we were in the standing section. We had standing tickets, and there was something about the energy in the crowd. DAngelo hadn't come to London in a long time, and we were excited. Everybody in the crowd was excited, and we were just vibing off each other. And the energy was just something. It was just something very magical. You could just feel it. Everybody was excited to be there, and whether we were there 3 hours before, it didn't matter. We were ready. We were ready to see this guy, and it was just a magical feeling. And I think I remember that the anticipation more than the show, even because the show was incredible. But that feeling, just talking to other DAngelo fans, what's your favorite song? How are you feeling about the show tonight? Will he be as good as he used to be? And obviously he was. He smashed it. But just the energy. I remember the energy in that crowd, just waiting 3 hours before, because we were with the same people for 3 hours. People are passing by. It's just great. I loved it. I just loved that energy. And
it was his first concert. He just said that was his first concert that he went to. What a memory to have. Your first concert, you go, DAngelo. Wow.
Yep. Very first concert.
That's incredible,
Yeah,
man.
when the Hopeful was saying her mom got tickets to see DAngelo in '95. Her sister and I were fighting, so literally I refused to go. They ended up taking my sister's friend instead. No regrets.
Yeah.
We were young.
But you have that memory. That's a nice memory. That's such a lovely memory. Like the fact that
The memory of not going.
Yeah, no, but it's nice because I mean it would have been better to
I
go.
don't
But...
know. Yeah.
Did he do anything with Lauryn Hill?
Can't recall.
I think I'm getting mixed up with that Bob Marley. They did Lauryn Hill and Bob Marley duet, weren't they?
I don't remember.
Getting
That
mixed
would have been an interesting
Nothing
combination.
even matters.
Lauryn Hill and not sure, man.
Nothing even matters with DAngelo.
Oh.
Did he?
The
He
song
did some
Don't Even
production
Matter.
for. Did he do something for me? He did some production. I can't remember who he was producing, or did he produce Mary?
Oh, he's done it. He did a was it Every Day It Rains? Was that him? No, he did. He did something.
Yes.
There's an unreleased track off the second album.
Well, yeah, okay. So Angie
right.
Stone, so she said when I interviewed her that Mary stole the track, that it was her and DeAngelo's duet, and somebody took the track and put Mary on it and released it and stuff like that. So that was still going to court and stuff. So no, I thought he did a production for.
Hopeful, you need to come on the podcast because you're posting a lot here. You're telling, come on the podcast and tell us tonight, Hopeful, Miss Hopeful. Put the link out again. It's very busy tonight on the old messages.
Yeah. No, we do because we do want to be able to hear just like just to be able to hear stories about for those people who have like Colin started off by talking about how impactful DAngelo was on him and his career as a singer, but also for those who I must admit I was more into in 95, 96. I was more into sort of the bad boy stuff. I had DAngelo in the background. I bought the his debut album, but I think I appreciated him later on. Maybe by the time he did Voodoo, more so, because it just felt different. And I was surprised how successful Brown Sugar was, because we didn't have much. it just almost came out of nothing. That's like, wow, just having this type of vibe, neo soul as they would call it. Even though he wasn't, let me see. Yes, DeAngelo did a duet with Lauryn Hill, titled "Nothing Even Matters."
I
on her
thought so.
album.
Oh, you just said that. You just said that, the guy there.
Nothing even matters.
Yeah,
It's on her album,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's amazing that he just did 3 albums, which just says that he really wasn't really into the music. I mean, into the whole industry stuff. It's just like, yeah,
Remember, he had a drug habit as
amazing
well.
that he didn't.
So that you know what I mean. So that was in that situation, that situation as well. I don't know if he was in. I don't know if he got. There was a period he got locked up. I'm not sure, but I know he had a proper, drug habit.
I did have another ticket to see him in London, and he couldn't come because he wasn't allowed to travel. He wasn't allowed to enter the UK or something. Something happened. I don't know what that was. I don't want to dwell on that too much, but I remember the concert got cancelled because he wasn't allowed to travel. Something happened. I was gutted about that, and that was before. That would have been mid noughties, I want to say, something like that. Yeah, that would have been something. And can you guys? Let me see if any of you guys know this. Can you make a link between Rodney Jerkins and DAngelo?
Ooh, stop it, mate! Stop it.
Oh, there's a link, and this was great because it's just
That's your mate in it, Namdi, Rodney Jerkins. You got him on speed dial, aren't you, on your WhatsApp?
Put him on.
No, I can't think of.
No, I don't know.
No, I can't think of.
okay. So
He's going to tell us.
So he did a track. I think it was with Angie Stone as well. So he did a track with a group called Twice, a song called Sparkle. He produced it.
Here we go.
And the remix was done by Rodney Jerkins. And I heard the remix first. And the Twice Sparkle remix is absolutely nuts. It's beautiful, fantastic production. Then I heard DAngelo's version, and I thought,
wow.
It's
yeah,
even
remember,
better.
yeah, you jog. It's a great memory jogger this evening. All these tracks that are just forgotten about, like you say, Lauryn Hill and DAngelo, and that Get Off the Bus track, and it's all kind of coming back to me bit by bit now.
It would have been nice if Maxwell and DAngelo did something. Did they do anything together?
Yeah.
That would have been like, because they were always compared to each other, weren't they?
They were. I mean, really, right? If you look to the 90s, and I'm talking about real classic albums. I mean, obviously, Brown Sugar is going to be up there with the first Maxwell album. The real,
Christian.
It's
No,
up there,
I think DAngelo was a lot different than Maxwell. I thought Maxwell was Maxwell was great and he had a lane, but I think DAngelo did something that was what we weren't expecting in our generation. That type of that kind of soul rock kind of. He wasn't. Yeah. Oh, D-Hawk has left. Yeah.
Well,
I think when Maxwell.
Good evening.
D-Hawk, yeah.
Thanks for joining, man. It was great to hear your story about the concert.
Yeah.
It was.
I think DAngelo was. He just felt like a difference and stuff. Colin, were you saying something? Oh, Colin, I thought you were waving or so.
Oh no, I'm saying, I'm going to leave you up to chat now.
Thank you.
Okay.
Nice to see you, man.
Great.
All right, all the best, yeah.
Take care, man.
Take care, guys. See you soon.
Stay on them cruises with them songs, mate.
Yeah.
Groove me. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you hear what Nile Rodgers said today? There was a post with Nile Rodgers, and one of the music execs, DAngelo's music execs, basically wanted to get Nile Rodgers' opinion, and this would have been a year before Brown Sugar came out. So he played the entire album to Nile Rodgers and asked Nile Rodgers, what can we do with this album? Nile Rodgers' response was, "You don't need to do anything. Just put it out. It's perfect."
Great.
And
Brilliant.
this is Nile Rodgers. So I love that story. And the fact that Nile Rodgers is saying this doesn't need any improvement or anything like that. And then a year later, he heard one of the songs and it was exactly the same as what he'd heard a year before. And he says, DAngelo has arrived. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, I still can't go with that Nile Rodgers story where he turns up to some night disco, some famous disco nightclub in New York, and he's at the door with the bouncers there, and the Chic record that he's just produced, he's playing out, and they won't let him in. He's going,
"Oh, Studio 54. Was it Studio 54?
And they're playing his records, and they won't even let him in. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
crazy story.
Yeah,
In that,
Yeah. Yeah, have you heard of Aries? Okay.
Oh yes,
Yeah. I mean,
Aries never quite made it. Then.
very good.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone else has seen DAngelo live, it would be great to hear what that experience was. Anyone who's ever met him, I mean, that's even taken another step further. I don't know if Stevie's backstage
I
stories.
personally don't. There's fans out there that what I know all the personal things about art. I've never really gone down that. I'm just happy to get the music. So hearing I didn't even know he had cancer. I didn't have a clue he had. I'm not like stalking the artist or anything. I don't need to know what's going on in the personal lives. I mean, if it gets shared online and read it and find out, great. But there's a lot of fans out there that are just kind of disturbing. They're hooked on an artist and
yeah, but one of the things about I think one of the things about music and it is the art of communicating. So somebody will be struggling with whatever pains there are, and they're putting their music, and somebody else connects. So I can imagine somebody really being not obsessed, but close to an artist and feeling like Taylor Swift. She goes through a relationship, she puts it to pen, people to build upon that. I think somebody like DAngelo, who was very reclusive, I think very similar to Jaheim. I think DAngelo struggled with alcoholism. I think with DAngelo, relationship, because he felt comfortable with his marriage. I think he also didn't like the limelight, and I think he loved the music. But in this business, the labels don't care about the music; they care about the money. If you make great music that makes no money, it makes no sense for them. So if we can make millions from you, and I'm sure Mr. Savagno, who's worked in the industry, will say it's about the money. And if we can make more money without you, dead or alive, we will make more money without you, dead or alive. I think that was hard on him, having to be in the public eye, and that's why he took a downward fall. Lauryn Hill is similar. She came out that debut album, it blew up, and she was hailed as the new Messiah, and it was just too much for her. And then she just cut her hair and just said, "This is not what I thought. I just thought I would just make music." And I think DAngelo struggled. I think Abundance has said it. DAngelo struggled with his public image after Voodoo. Look at him in Entitled and watch him thereafter. The weight and everything. It's the pressure that everyone wants.
It'd be like you, Namdi, say halftime chat. I don't know. You wake up tomorrow morning and suddenly you've got millions of viewers and millions of subscribers, and you go to your local supermarket and everyone wants to say hello to you. You're gonna struggle dealing with that, aren't you?
Yeah,
it must be friendly.
Yeah, but I think if you're an artist, who they've made a sex symbol, he was. I mean, just think of Untitled. I mean, he was chiseled And it wasn't about the song. It was about the fact that, you know, the video was just pretty much him standing there and just going around. I mean, that was pretty much saying, you are now a sex symbol. And we're going to, and that was, that's, you know, D-Hawk talks about how he got into his music when he saw him in Atlanta during the Voodoo tour. And all of a sudden, it's like, no, no, no. We want you, we need to sell you and the package.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was massive pressure on him to sell an album every 2 years. In 90s, so good looking required to go straight single, all women required to be single and child free. She was, you know, she was a lawyer in industry and stuff. So yeah, so hence the breakup of the marriage with Angie Stone. Who knows how much that affected him? Yeah.
VJ was dying to say something. Go on, VJ.
I was going to say, I remembered I did a concert at in London. I think it's 2020, just before COVID, and I was looking maybe a year before that which artist to look for, and DAngelo came up on the list. I think I got in touch with the management, and the response I got was something like he's not touring right now or something. But DAngelo would have been, if I didn't do the show I did. The show I ended up doing was Blackstreet, Mario Winans, and Horace Brown. But I think DAngelo with his band would have been that was like very high on the list. So I would have loved to have done that, but the response I got was that he's not touring right now. So I don't know what was going on at the time, but I would have loved.
What year was this?
This would have been 20. I would have reached out in 2019.
So 2015, 2014, he had the car crash, and that almost killed him. Comes back with the Black Messiah, but he's probably, probably still not in the right frame of mind, as well. I'm still going to put out the link. Hopefully, you can come on without the camera if you want. At least you can talk, so we can at least hear from you, and you can share if you don't want to put on the camera. It is something it surprises us every time we try and do any of these shows that we want you guys to come on. How challenging it does feel to be able to come on. But it's great to be able to hear from you guys who have ever seen him live, seen him in person.
Well, like you say, everybody, don't be shy because your mum wasn't. Remember that? Your mother wasn't. Don't be shy now. Come and say hi.
Yeah. I mean, who do we say are people who were inspired by DAngelo and sort of came in that vein musically? Who are some of the ones that you kind of noticed that kind of followed his trend?
I think everybody post 1995 that had that like neo soul sound, and neo soul was coined, I believe, by Kedar.
Yeah.
It's argued who came up with that phrase, but it's I believe it's from the Kedar camp. And he said in an interview with me that he coined the phrase neo soul. People like Adriana Evans, I think she's heavily influenced by DAngelo. Ladisi, artists like that. Who else? I even think, Lauryn Hill was there before, but I think
India, obviously, we mentioned India Irie before. She started out on a tiny, the Earthseed label in Atlanta before she got signed to Motown, and that she's what again, Ladisa. These were the first, some of the around DAngelo to do this sound. You know what I mean? Back then, looking back.
Okay, we've got somebody coming on.
Abundance says the word Soul Aquariums. I remember that name.
Yeah.
Soul Aquarium, the group.
How's it going?
How you doing?
Yeah. How do you pronounce your name?
It's DAW Bird, but a lot of times on these sites they call me R Bird. But I'm from Richmond, Virginia, so I call myself 804 Bird with the word. I'm a poet.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
And I
You are
just wanted to
welcome.
briefly, just thank you so much. I just wanted to briefly touch on it. I have a long-standing history with DAngelo. I'm connected with some people who he worked with closely. A lot of my friends grew up with him. Like I said, I'm from the Richmond area, so I've seen him perform live. I've had a chance to really, sit back with him sometimes behind closed doors and kind of relax and be kind of more intimate than just your average fan would be. And during that period of time, one of the things that we really always learned about him was, just like you guys were pointing out, the goal or the objective in the music industry is to keep the hits coming. And a lot of times artists are not concerned with hits or where they are on the charts. They just want to continue to be creative and be led by the music, the spirit of the music, the feelings that they get, the vibes. They're more willing to vibe than to just be conditioned to crank out hits or to do what's called that cookie cutter staple of just continuing to give the people what they're used to having. They always want you to branch out and be able to take the journey with them and explore the music and the creativity. And I just feel so bad because I feel like it's definitely a loss. I feel like there's so much that he still had to give. And just based on the fact that sometimes you just need to leave artists alone and let them create.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always about a tour. I know once popular, and you all spoke on it, that Untitled, How Does It Feel? That threw him into the sex symbol realm. And he didn't want to be a sex symbol. He didn't even really want to tour. He wanted to stay in the studio, pen and paper, a microphone, all the instruments, and just be a musical genius. And sometimes when it comes down to the money, that tends to fall by the wayside because we know what continues to feed the machine. And I'm not gonna hold you guys too long. I'm just proud to be able to say that I did know him, that I did witness his genius. I've seen him live. I've seen him in the studio. I've seen him behind closed doors. And sometimes, just like you all spoke of with Lauryn Hill, it can be kind of disheartening sometimes how pursuit of the money and what fame can do to you in the industry allows the industry to chew you up and spit you out. Like right now, I'm very interested to see where we are with how much his music is going to make now in his past. And I'm just going to leave you guys with that, and I'm going to step back in and listen. But once again, I'm A.W. Bird. They call me R Bird, but I'm 804 Bird with the word. And I thank you guys for your time.
May I ask one question before you leave? Just one question before you leave. When you just tell us a little bit about DAngelo's creative process, like what you've experienced. So just something, anything that would, because everybody's hearing right now.
So what I
sorry, go on.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, all right. So I had a buddy. I talked to my buddy firm what had gone on, and they said that DAngelo had been in hospice for about 2 weeks. And during that period of time, I talked to my buddy today, and he had an opportunity to go up to New York and actually visit him. But my buddy's father has like the house of hits. I mean, he has records from the floor to the ceiling. So DAngelo's creative process kind of was a lot like just kind of going into the room, pulling a lot of records out on the floor. You know, I'm going to just be honest. We might roll up a little bit of that brown sugar. And he just listened to music and built his creativity off of the greats. I mean, he was into Marvin Gaye, Prince. I mean, I don't have to recount all of his influences, but those influences definitely gave you insight into his creative process and his musical pattern. He was very relaxed as an artist, and he didn't put a time limit or a time frame on his creativity. And that often frustrated people because after Brown Sugar, he took a little bit of time. He came back with Untitled. He took a little bit more time, and then life is forever lifing. So you have children, you have struggles, you have ups and downs, different things go on, and his creative process was one where he took his time. He took his time, as they say, to create the Devil's Pack. That's one of his songs that I always love. But he was a painstaking perfectionist. Just like your Stevie Wonders, your Donny Hathaways, those guys that are musical geniuses that can play all of the instruments and really are just more about the music than they are themselves. That's the best way I can put it.
Thank you for sharing, man. That's
Thank you, sir.
the thing is everybody's hurting right now. This is a big one for us. So even a little bit about him, we just want to talk about him.
Right. He was a bright light,
Yeah.
and may his creativity and his greatness continue to live on through his message and his music.
Appreciate that. Thanks for joining us.
No doubt. I'm glad I ran into you all online. Appreciate you. I can't wait to sit back and continue to listen. You all have a great one. All right.
You too. So we got Chester. What's up?
Hello, my name is Chester. English is not my first language, just so I'm gonna just try. I did see DAngelo. I'm calling from the Netherlands, by the way. I saw DAngelo the first time with the Voodoo record. You guys know North Sea Jazz Festival?
Yes.
Yes. That's the first time I saw him. He was incredible. Wow. All the ladies went crazy because he used to rip his shirt off those times. The second time I saw him, the second 2 times I saw him in Paradiso. It's a great culture pop temple here in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. He was just incredible. And just his music, man. I loved his music so much. He was new soul. He didn't like that term, by the way, but he created it. It was incredible. I just loved his music so much. His music was also good for a little joint. You know, we smoke joints in the Netherlands, and just vibe away. Yeah. All those, I have all his records. Even the featuring he did. He was just a incredible musician. Great loss, man. Great loss.
So you mentioned the North Sea Jazz Festival. Like, can you tell us? So how many people were in that performance? Was it like a big
North
crowd?
Sea Jazz? Man, he was bigger than Michael Jackson that time.
Wow.
People went crazy.
That's
He was big. Yeah, he was big.
Yeah. Goodness.
Yeah.
What was your favorite song by DAngelo?
I just can't name one, man. But when I heard he died today, the song that came to my mind was Africa from the Voodoo album, the last song on Africa. That was such a beautiful song.
Yeah.
Because it is a transitional song. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he was dreaming about somewhere he didn't know, but he know. We as Black people, we know we have that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think to think he just did 3 albums and 1 live album in 20 plus years tells you that I think Prince just kept putting out music, but not everyone was made for the industry.
Yes.
And they needed people to support, to protect them, and he probably didn't have that.
No, he was a special soul, man. He was a special soul. A journalist here in the Netherlands made a documentary. I think it was 2014, Devil Spy, and he talks about stage fright then in that documentary. Because he had a lot of stage fright, but you have to check it out. Devil Spy is the name. Yes.
Very nice.
Great loss, man.
Okay.
Great loss.
Yeah.
I saw you tear up. I teared up too when I heard the news.
Yeah, Vijay, you got emotional, didn't you?
I did. You can't help it, man. It's like just some things like this that happen. They just they hit you differently. They affect you differently. This is it feels like the wrong time. The boy was 51, man. I'll be 51 soon. You know what I mean? It's like
it's our era at the end of the day. It's our era.
It's our era.
We grew up with him, so
we grew up.
I'm 52.
That's it. We grew up with him.
You know, we all cherish these records that he's done, what he's a part of. It's tough. It's a really, like you say. It's the other thing is like because we are kind of stuck to that period, that 90s period, there's a side of us that really hasn't grown up. We don't realize that actually we are at an age where we could not be here tomorrow. You know, we kind of do say it on the podcast. We kind of appreciate that we might not see each other tomorrow. You know, life is short, but you still got that. We still feel we're back in the 90s, in our 20s, don't we? That we're going to live forever, but we're not. You know what I mean?
You're speaking the truth there, man. You're speaking the truth that brother. Yes.
I think one of the things that it's going to be a challenge is that artists who, I'm sure there's a lot of unreleased stuff that he didn't complete.
Yes,
and
that's what I heard.
Yeah, now with the advance of this AI generating software, they can create a video of him performing one of his unreleased songs and make a music video and make more money. Like, look at Michael Jackson. I think since he's died, the estate has generated more than $500 million in the years he's died. I think maybe close to 600 million since he's passed away. Yes. It shows you that dead or alive, especially dead, they can do more and make more. And you know what DAngelo wasn't prepared to do when he was alive, the label will do now that he's gone. Now, for music lovers, getting a chance to hear some more unreleased stuff, I don't know if it will be great listening compared to if DAngelo himself sanctioned it. But
I have some bootleg from the 90s.
Yeah, there's some great DAngelo bootlegs. I mean, some insane bootlegs. I was trying to find which one it was. There's one with, he did that track. Q-Tip did an album. He did a fantastic track on Q-Tip's album, and all of these songs made it onto this bootleg and alternate versions of them. There's a really good bootleg of him. I
can't get it too. But from North Sea Jazz, I have the live audio. I have the live audio because I knew somebody at the how do we call it, the engineer.
Look at you.
with Pino Palladino on the bass.
Oh. Yes, please.
Okay, guys, I have to leave you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, appreciate you for coming through.
Thank you very much.
Take care, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, we definitely have to appreciate those who. Oh, no, I'm trying to get this up. We definitely have to appreciate those who've been brave to come on to talk and share their memories. We do this every week, so it seems as if it should be straightforward to jump on live. But as you can see from those who've come on, it's really helpful just to hear. So we've got about 10 more minutes before we shut down. But you know, anyone else that wants to come on and just share some stories about DAngelo, whether seen him in person, seen him in a show, or any memories about buying his, listening to any of his songs and things like that. It'd be great to hear from you. I was in America when DAngelo came out, so 95, 96, 97, during those times. And so he was part of the staple. How well received was he here in the UK, Stephen BJ, during when he came out? Was he on the radio, or was it hard to get to know him? I mean, around that time?
Well, I was hearing him. All the black music radio stations were playing him. You know, it was a big album. The first, you know, the singles, the first few singles, the remixes.
Yeah,
you know, it was a big deal.
Big remix. I think when Brown Sugar came out, the album, it felt like that was the only album that everybody wanted to talk about. There wasn't. He was a revelation, and you don't get that very often. There was something very different about DAngelo when Brown Sugar came out, and I mean, I was in London, so in London you heard a lot of the songs off that, And then the singles that kept coming out with all the remixes, like the Eric Sermon remix of Me and Those Dreaming Eyes of Mine. What was that?
Yeah.
That was magic. The DJ Premier with AZ, was that Lady? There's so many.
Yeah, tons. We got tons of remixes. Tons of remixes.
There was a lot of remixes. And I remember this. I was out in Mumbai for I think 4 or 5 months, and this was, I want to say, about 2012, whenever this album came out. When did the third album come out? DAngelo's
2014, 2015 or so.
So I didn't have any.
I mean,
There was no streaming platforms for me. I needed to find the physical CD, and I found an Indian copy of D'Angelo and the Vanguard, Black Messiah, and I was very happy. And I popped it in the car, the CD player, and I just listened to that a lot. I downloaded it the day it came out, and I just remember walking the streets of Mumbai to do my steps and just really immersing myself. And I felt like such a badass listening to that album, because I'm just walking. All I'm doing is walking. Like we all walk, right? But I'm listening to the Black Messiah album and just thinking, I am the baddest person on the planet. And all I was doing was walking, listening to D'Angelo's new album, and it was a really nice feeling to be able to hear that like that.
Yeah, we did start the show by talking about Angie Stone, but also the fact that the breakup of their marriage by the record label had an impact on both of their lives, and so we don't know whether he recovered from that, because he felt she was a strong woman supporting him in that, but when they pulled him away from his wife and child, because he wasn't selling, he's not going to make as much money. We don't know how he spiraled after that. Yes.
What else we haven't mentioned? The Dallas Austin remixes of Cruising.
Oh yeah, very good, very nice. And that felt
Well,
like an odd combo. It felt like an odd combo.
Yeah.
Dallas Austin and D'Angelo. So it felt just very odd, but it worked.
Yeah, it's strange that I remember after D'Angelo coming out and after the Erykah Badu's, like I'm into this neo soul stuff, and I got into Chico DeBarge on his Motown album. I bought the album and I was like, okay, I'm trying to equate what it was like to go left field. It's almost like doing a vegan diet or so, when you decide to leave the bad boy and Uptown New Jack stuff and do neo soul back in the day, because as I said, it wasn't conventional.
It was a reaction. It was a reaction to gangster rap as well, I think, at the time. There's a lot of gangster rap going on. That really,
yeah, we had the Tupac Biggie. Yeah, we had the Tupac Biggie that in '96, and I think there was a sense of, this is too much, but it filled a void. I think up to '95 to '97, as you said, India.Arie, Jill Scott, Erykah
I think
Badu,
when music, by the time Music Soul Child dropped his first album, I'll be honest, I was getting a bit tired of it by then. I mean, the Music Soul Child was, I think, attempting to cross it over a bit more, and what he did, especially his first single, that Sunny, I like that, but I'll be honest, I wanted something else to come along after that then, but saying that, with age now, this sound does stand the test of time.
Look at what Abundance has talked about just now. Tell me, do you remember that off Slum Village? Oh my God,
yes,
how good was that? Oh my God, what a song! What a song!
Yeah. But I think the problem was that they filled that void with hip hop, Cash Money, that filled that void, because there wasn't when D'Angelo's, who's really the forebearer, stopped really making more music. It was like, let's find something else, and hip hop came through. and you know, there's nothing wrong with variety, but I think they changed the charts and they made it hip hop and R&B, and so of course it had an impact on how much hip R&B really got seen and heard. Yeah, so so this final warning, guys, because I think we've just got a few more minutes before we start on. If anyone still feels brave enough to click onto the link, come on and have it, just share some thoughts about with DAngelo, seeing him, meeting him, or his music before we log off. This was unexpected, unplanned. As I said, we had no plans to oh, of course we didn't expect him to die. And I must say, Mac sent me a message to say, have you heard that DAngelo's passed? And I was driving, and I said, I haven't seen it on TMZ, even though I saw it on Twitter. Fox Soul and people saying good sources have said he has passed. And I'm like, you know, this has happened in the past where they've said a celebrity has died, and then it's like it's false rumor. And I said, until I see it on TMZ, because they tend to be the first to break it. And when it did come out, I'm like, wow, you know, that's definitely sad.
I just remembered something. We've mentioned it on another podcast, but DAngelo was asked if he could have written one song that he didn't write, which one would it be? And I love that he said this. He said, I wish I had written Michael Jackson, Remember the Time. And I don't know why it resonated with him the way it did, but it resonated with him. And the other thing I wanted to mention as well, Bashir mentioned the cover version of the SOS Band track, Tell Me If You Still Care. Arguably the best Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis song ever. DAngelo's version of that is stunning. Bashir, we didn't talk about it before, but that's a great nod to DAngelo's talent. That is a great video. If you haven't seen it, do take a peek.
Yes. So I think all this week, you know, what we do on this show and this channel is that we take our time to celebrate the artists, to celebrate the music, and I'm sure that when Andrew is back, we will think of how we can, you know, do a tribute with DAngelo, maybe mix it up with Maxwell, as somebody suggested. I think it was Benson or so. But we'll take time, and then we will try and look at our neo soul or something like that. So we will look into that because it'll be good just to be able to remember that time of our lives when we took a pause from the hip hop, from the R&B, from the 80s Puff Daddy remixes and R. Kelly's 12 play, and we celebrated neo soul. We celebrated a throwback to music, and we celebrated Brown Sugar, Voodoo, and especially that video on Untitled. So, final thoughts, VJ and Stevie.
I think this is a huge loss for music, not just for R&B, soul, neo soul, hip hop, whatever you want to call DAngelo's style of music. This is a huge loss for music. As I said at the beginning of the podcast, I don't think we've had a bigger loss than this since Whitney Houston. This is very, very difficult to process. And I'm grateful that, Namdi, you've set it up today because this podcast, because I just want to talk about him. You know, when I just want to talk about him, it's just very sad. Very, very sad.
We're blessed to have this platform to do that, you know. We're blessed to have all these people to turn up, you know, and share this experience and what we're feeling, you know. I'll be honest, it won't hit me till tomorrow. I'll get up in the morning, I'll get on that bus to work, and I'll be like, oh, dear me. It will really hit me then. Really hit me. But like I say, we've just lost a generational talent. And we're lucky. We're so lucky that, you know, we was able to go through that era, buy them albums, and just listen to, you know, without the internet back then, without mobile phones, we could just have that album, the CD, the vinyl, the tape, and we could listen to it week in, week out and let it sink in. Like, you can't do that now. It's just so hard, isn't it? It's so hard to let an album just sink in now. something new. So we've all had that shared experience, you know. And this is, and bit by bit we're losing these talents. You know, the music industry takes these talents very young, don't they? Far too soon, as Michael Jackson once said.
Yeah. So I mean, I think just as Speedy and Stevie says that we had this opportunity this evening, but as we will always say that it is no show without you guys, because you guys have put in the comments, and that's why you can see the comments showing. You guys have been part of what we're doing, because we three of us could just sit at home and talk, but having you guys part of that makes the show go. As I said, the last time we did this was for Raphael Sadiq, because yeah, please, not Raphael Sadiq, Dwayne Wiggins, because he also had cancer, and his death was he just felt like out of the blue, and he was the quiet member of the group, but they're all part of that same sort of soul collective. And I hope that I'll never do this show again, this type of stuff, because it's not the best shows to do. But I think having the community to be able to share this stuff with is helpful. I mean, today Karen White turned 60 years old. Karen White, she looks amazing. And I started off by celebrating Karen White, and like, look at her, she's 60, and she doesn't. I mean, it's like, you know, she looks like she's in her mid-30s and stuff. The way and that's how I was starting off the day. And it's just really, this has just taken over, you know, this type of sadness when it started the day celebrating. So I still want to celebrate Karen's 60th birthday, and I still want us to celebrate everyone else that's still alive and kicking. But we do mourn with DAngelo's family, his son especially. He's lost his mom and dad in 2025. If you can listen to Voodoo, if you can listen to the DAngelo's collection, do so, at least just to be able to honor him and his music. But we will Stevie and I will catch you tomorrow when we interview Free from N Touch. He's going to be live, and we are back on Sunday when we are doing Bell Biv DeVoe's Hoodie Mac, Ralph Tresvant's, what's the name of Ralph's album? Yeah. It's Going Down, and Johnny Gill's Provocative.
Yeah.
Provocative. We're going to be looking at what happened to those three albums. They all came out in '93, and they were weren't as successful as their predecessors that came out in 1990. So we're doing a top 10.
I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? I mean,
from those three albums.
We've got this shared experience where, you know, we're mourning DAngelo tonight. We've got a New Jack, unsung New Jack legend we're going to share with tomorrow night. And then we're going to do three albums that didn't quite make it, that are special to us as well. You know, I'm just so happy we can do this all together, you know.
Yeah.
We've got this, you know.
Yeah.
And
you know,
you both summed it up, but the fact that all of us, everybody that's on this podcast writing, or if anybody that's jumped on, we're all able to connect and remember DAngelo. And to say that we're remembering DAngelo just feels so sad. It doesn't feel right, but we're able to do that. We're connecting together, and that is a beautiful thing. And that's one of the good reasons for technology. I mean, technology is like consumes all of us all day long, every day. But this is one of the good things about it.
Yeah,
and,
totally.
Yeah, great that we were able to do that.
Okay, guys.
Wish you a good night.
So see you tomorrow with Free from N Touch. See you Sunday. Listen to Hoodie Mac. Listen to It's Going Down, and Hoodie Mac. I don't know. I wonder who would have which album would go the lowest. But we're here to celebrate music. We're here to celebrate music, and actually, we would prefer to celebrate DAngelo's music instead of mourning his loss. but that's what we're going to keep doing. We're going to keep celebrating them while they're still alive, giving them their flowers now. So we'll catch you tomorrow, and we'll catch you over the weekend. Stay blessed.
Good night, folks. Good afternoon. Good morning.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that kind of
and somewhere in between
us for even loving us, on which I did miss you with.
What was it like growing up?
she's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple pieces.
Trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No, okay.
They don't understand what Jodeci's boys do in all spirits.
Play it.